In computer science, there's something that's always fascinated everyone. Whether in movies, in middle of school computer labs, or in the collective imagination, the terminal. This strange black window with mysterious black and green writing scrolling by. Only some few people managed to read what's written and to communicate with this tool from her. Both terrifying and fascinating, it seems to give this cast of initiates, also known as huge nerds, powerful abilities. The power to penetrate any network, infiltrate the computer systems of the biggest banks, and make your mom's printer work. All thinkers remember with emotion the first time they opened the terminal and launched their first command of their life. Echo, hello world. Or their first scripts that created thousands of folders in a shared drive at the library, so nobody in class could find the location of the math assignment. What do you mean? I'm the only one who did that?
Yeah, dude!
If you two have a past as a little troublemaker, you have definitely asked yourself this question. Just how much chaos can you cause with a simple command? Will it be technically possible to actually destroy a computer? For example, already in 2000, people were wondering if you could turn a computer into a bomb. And I'm warning you, even if you're a dev, the answer might surprise you a bit. First, what you need to know is that when we say terminal or command prompt, we are actually talking about a simple application. What we are actually interested in here is the program will communicate through this application, the shell. It's what does a syntactic analysis of the command. We send it and deduce the instructions of the operating system. There are several shells that exist depending on your operating system. Or if you have changed it, in which case I assume your job is not accountant. The most well-known being sh, bash, zsh, or by zsh. Devs have a really special relationship with their tools. But the principle is always the same. You write a command or a series of commands and a shell executes them. It could be creating a file on your desktop, restarting your computer, or sending a request to Amazon to buy its COBOL. Probably really annoying to do, but theoretically doable. As you can see, there are not really any limits. So what kind of stupid stuff could we do? Well, what immediately comes to mind to overload a machine as much as possible is the famous fork bomb. In most operating systems, a process, a program running, has the ability to create other processes, notably via what's called a fork, which is creating a clone. A clone that can itself duplicate. You see where it's going. And in one tiny little line, it's possible to trigger a tsunami that will rapidly devour your machine's resources and crash everything. On Windows, it's very pretty to watch. Look, it has a bit of that Gemini curse vibe from Harry Potter. It's pretty, but apparently you just need to restart your computer and everything will be okay. Which isn't the case with another well-known command, the famous rmrf/. So simple yet terrible. RM for remove, ARM for recursively, F for force, and the slash to say from the root of the disk. In plain English, it deletes absolutely all the files on the computer as fast as possible. Effective, I told you. So effective that we almost lost a masterpiece because of this command coming from her. A pizza employee accidentally typed this command during the production of Toy Story 2, which deleted months of work on the film in a few minutes. In the end, it was thanks to the technical director who had gone on maternity leave with a copy of the film on her personal computer that they could save the film and they avoided bankruptcy. This story is insane. Funny detail, this command hasn't worked for a few years. You have to add a parameter to confirm the fact that you are a masochist. Actually, there's another command that might even be worse. It's DD. Nobody knows exactly why this program has this name. It's a bit like Area 51, but there's a theory I like, which is that it stands for Disk Destroyer. Because if you have the backlog of making a single character mistake, the consequences can be pretty dramatic. Here, for example, is going to replace every byte of your hard drive with random data. The reason this is even worse is that with RM, we were just deleting the reference to the file location. Even if it's annoying, we could imagine maybe reconstructing them with specialized tools. Whereas here, it's really dirt like dirt. Gone. Nothing left. It's very sad, but technically, we can't really say we destroyed the computer. At most, what we destroyed is the operating system that was installed in the disk. But the PC itself, physically, there is no problem. and actually creating a hardware failure. That's clearly not the same build. A component often considered fragile is the SSD. They are perceived as much less durable than a classic hard drive. So we could tell ourselves that, for example, by massively writing data on it, we could create a failure. So people tried and it works. Yeah, I swear. On the other hand, it took them 18 months, a bit long. Something a bit more likely actually will be trying to overheat the CPU. You could launch a very resource-intensive command to make the temperature rise as high as possible. Well, the thing is, unfortunately, there are safeguards to prevent it from getting out of control. Well, fortunately, what am I saying? A hacker will therefore find a way to access your BIOS, the configuration software of your motherboard, to be able to significantly increase the CPU frequency, which seems actually pretty unlikely, or straight up rebuild the CPU cooler. Like for this magnificent AMD processor currently burning up. Obviously, that's kind of cheating. What I would really like to know is, can't we find a way to damage it without changing anything on the computer? We just remote access. Well, as it turns out, under very specific conditions, if you have a really high level, it's not necessarily impossible. There is a security company called CrowdStrike that at a conference in 2014 allegedly did a demo where they managed to fry the components of a Mac. It's insane. To pull it off, they literally replaced the machine firmware with a modified system, which allows them to target the embedded SMC controller, which lets them disable the cooling fans and create huge load spikes on the processor. So they didn't push it too far on stage for obvious reasons. But the guy literally said we could set the machine on fire. Well, okay, I'm going to walk around with my fire extinguisher now. Great. More seriously, even if it's fascinating to see how far researchers can go, you can still sleep soundly. It's a risk that's still very unlikely for 3 reasons. First, the stuff we just talked about concerns rather old hardwares. Manufacturers take these problems very seriously and multiple safeguards are in place now to avoid these issues. Notably, the processor self-regulates. Next, the complexity level of such attacks is really disproportionate. I don't know if you realize, but replacing Apple's entire operating system just to be able to barbecue it is really colossal work. And even if it's beautiful, you would then need to be able to trigger an update with the user's validation. But the main reason you don't need to fear a hacker will blow up your PC is that it's not profitable. Not at all. Really, the only thing that concerns 99.9% of people who invest time on cyber crimes is making money. A victim's machine is much more useful in mining cryptocurrencies than making a little campfire. Unless it's a PC controlling a nuclear plant in Iran, then it's different. So thank you people to have watched the video to the end. I hope it really pleased you. So like the video, share, comment, and more especially subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you very soon. This was Tachi. Ciao.